sisters slay together, stay together.
Are you ready? Okay. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I wanted to do makeup on my bestie. Her name is Dirty Glam. You can follow her at Dirty Glam.
This is amazing.
You like it, boo?
Yes.
Yes. Slay, bitch, slay. I wanted to do a makeup look on someone else. I know that I do makeup all the time on other people. I've never actually tried it on camera. It was a bit of a struggle, but we pulled through, right? You think we did good? So if you want to learn more on how to get this look, then just keep on watching. So I always start off by combing the brows, and this just gives me a better guide of the areas that I have to fill in. Any areas where there may be any gaps or any sparse hairs, I'll fill them in just to make them look a bit fuller and more complete. And she has really full, beautiful brows, as you can see, but I'm just thickening them up at the top just so that they have a better arch, and that way they just frame her face much nicely. And when I get to the front of the brow, if I get a little too heavy-handed or apply a bit too much product, I'll use a spoolie to kind of brush it and comb it through, and this will just make it a bit more soft. That way it doesn't look so harsh towards the front of the brow. And now, using a bit of concealer, I'm grabbing a flat concealer brush, and I'm just using that to kind of clean up her brows and shape them even further. Now I'm grabbing an eyeshadow base, and this will secure the eyeshadows that I'll be applying later on and make them last all day. And to set that eyeshadow base, I'm using a bit of my Laura Mercier translucent powder. Now, using Blurr, I'm grabbing my MAC 224 brush, and I'm using that as a transition shade. This is a very, very light color. It acts as an eraser and helps clean up mistakes and just allows you to blend eyeshadow much, much better. Now I'm grabbing the shade Unseen, and this is a really nice warm brown. I love this eyeshadow so much, to the point that I'm like hitting pan already, and that's really rare for me to just like go in on an eyeshadow like that. But it's a really warm, nice brown, and it looks really nice on all skin tones. Now I'm grabbing Diamond from the Hidden Treasures palette from Dose of Colors. By the way, you guys, if you don't have this palette, you need to get it. It is everything. I've never seen metallic shadows be so pigmented. They almost look like loose pigments. But I'm using the Smith Cosmetics shader brush just to pack that on the lid and just build up the intensity. Now I'm using this metallic dark brown eyeshadow, and using that same shader brush, I'm just deepening and intensifying the outer corner of her eye. Now, picking up a clean blending brush, I'm just blending everything out to make sure there are no harsh lines. I'm picking up a matte dark brown and just further intensifying the outer corners of her eyes and her crease. So I wanted the eyeshadow on the lid to pop even more, and grabbing my finger, I'm picking up the same eyeshadow and just pressing it on. I feel sometimes when you use your finger to press metallic shadows, you get a much better color payoff. And this is why I always do eyes first, because she has such a hot mess under her eyes. Poor thing, looks like a panda.
Panda, panda, panda. I got broads in Atlanta.
I'm sorry, you guys. I just had to do that. It was too easy. By the way, also sorry if I sound like this. I'm getting a little sick, so I'm losing my voice. So I'm grabbing the eyeshadow I used earlier, Blurr, and I'm just using that to run it under the brow bone and right between the edge of the crease, just to blend everything. That way it all looks really nice and smooth. So I'm using this really cool little tool, and this is a mascara shield. I was really bored online one day, and I know I saw Makeup by Mario use something similar to this, so I looked it up online. I really like it because it allows you to really go in and just apply and really coat the lashes with mascara. It'll also prevent you from poking your client in the eye, which is really important. Now I'm picking up these eyelashes by Ardell, and I'm just placing them on her eyes, and I'm just using this so that I can see if I need to trim them. and I noticed that I definitely do, so I'm just grabbing my scissors and just cutting off the excess. So I'm grabbing a black eyeshadow and just using this flat brush to kind of run it through her lash line to make them thicker and just make it look a little bit smoky. So I applied glue to the lashes and allowed it to get tacky for a minute or so, and using my tweezers I started by applying them in the center and then just securing it on both corners. And now with a small stippling brush, I'm applying a bit of moisturizer all over her face. So I mixed two foundations, the Maybelline Fit Me as well as the L'Oreal Infallible. And for the L'Oreal, I'm using Sun Beige, and for the Fit Me, I'm using the shade 310. I like to, don't mind her, she's just feeling herself right now. But I wanted to mix these foundations together to get like a really nice shade that would just add some more warmth to her skin. And using my Ricky's makeup sponge that I absolutely adore, just blending my life away. When you think you're done blending, just keep going, just keep blending, just keep blending, 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 and make sure to bring it down all the way to the neck. So I'm going in with my black Opal foundation sticks to begin the contour, but before I do that, I'm just using the Napoleon Perdis the one concealer, and this is basically a color corrector. I love this thing, honestly. It's my holy grail on my clients that have more of an olive to light skin tone. It has a very light peach undertone and it cancels out darkness so beautifully. It's very creamy and very rich. I actually discovered this by mistake and I'm so glad I did. I was never using it, and then out of nowhere I decided to give it a try, and it was the best thing I ever did. This thing blends like a dream. I love it. Now I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm applying that to her forehead as well as under her eyes, bridge of her nose, and her chin, and I'm using this to highlight. And whenever I'm doing heavy glam, such as this look right here, I like to use creams to contour, and I'm using the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And I find whenever you're working with creams, using a synthetic brush is best. I personally don't like strictly working with a beauty blender when I'm contouring. I feel that the product moves a bit too much, and sometimes I like to keep things really concentrated. As you can see, I'll use the brush and then I'll kind of blend away, and then I'll go back and forth. I never really stay in one place. My makeup ways, they're very messy, but in the end it works. But I like to use a brush to apply the product and keep it really nice and concentrated, and then I like to use a makeup sponge to kind of buff away at the edges and make sure that it looks really nice and diffused. So I used two foundation sticks, and I'm using Truly Topaz on the nose since it's a bit cooler and it's a bit lighter, just so that the contour around her nose isn't as dark. And using the beauty blender, I'm just blending that away. I'm taking a little bit of concealer right at the edge of her nose, and what this will do, it'll make the actual bridge of her nose narrower, and it'll make it look like her nose starts much closer than what it actually does. So this is a nice little trick. You want to bring your concealer as close to the bridge of your nose as possible, and it just gives the illusion that your nose is smaller than what it actually is. I took a small amount of that concealer and I'm just cleaning up her contour. Sometimes we can tend to bring our contour much lower than what we're supposed to, and what this does is that it brings the wrong kind of structure to the face. By doing this, it'll make it really nice and clean and really cut that contour. So now to one of my favorite parts of makeup, and this is setting. I feel this is what brings everything together, and I'm using Cameo by Ben Nye. This is a luxury powder and it has more of a pinkish undertone. I usually like to use my Laura Mercier, but because Janelle has a really fair skin on her, this will work really well. And I feel like right now she's really feeling herself because, as you can see, she's just singing up a storm. But I like to set the areas where I highlighted, and it just makes you look really nice and photoshopped. And the key to setting your face is to just really pat it, and this will make your makeup last all day. Now I'm using the Book of Bronzers by Too Faced, and this product is really cool. It literally looks like a book, and it has a ton of bronzers that go in a circle. So I'm just kind of swirling my brush in a ton of different bronzers and just going all over her face in the areas I contour.
So cut it.
Cut it.
Yeah.
Cut it.
Stop.
So now I'm applying MAC Peaches blush, and this is like my all-time favorite blush. It looks nice on every single person. It's matte and it's awesome. So using a regular makeup brush, I'm just cleaning away that Cut It powder. Now I'm going in with the Kat Von D Shadowplay contour shade, and I'm just really using that to kind of add a little bit more definition, since the bronzers were a bit warmer and more on the orangey side. This is on the cooler side, so it'll just make everything look more structured. We had a lot of these moments while filming, but anyway, grabbing Key, which is that dark brown shade from the Dose of Colors palette, I'm just using that to run it on her lower lash line as well as the depth of her crease. Now I'm using this mascara by Maybelline, and I believe it's called Pump It Up, and applying that on her lower lashes. I'm using a pencil brush along with the Mary Luminizer, which is a overall highlight, and using that in the inner corners of her eyes. So I'm using this reddish brown lip liner to line all over her lips, and I got this from a beauty supply. I wish I knew the number, but the name rubbed off. And then I'm going over it with Milani lip pencil in Natural. Then I'm topping it all off with L'Oreal Fairest Nude lipstick, and I feel that this lip combination just looks so beautiful. It's kind of like a nudish pink, but not really, but kinda, but sorta, but not, but you get what I'm saying. And now to make everything look extra juicy, I'm just adding this lip gloss by NYX, and this is more like of a lip plumper. It has like that minty lip plumping effect, which feels really nice on the lips. Now I'm just cleaning everything up with a really small concealer brush. And I'm adding one more lip gloss because you know we have to finish strong, and this is Natural by NYX. It's one of my favorite lip glosses ever. So I applied a few of the luminizing drops to the back of my hand, and picking up my beauty blender, I'm just dabbing that on the high points of her cheeks. And every girl has that moment when that highlight hits. Damn, you just feel like you can take over life. So you know we had to be extra and just make the highlight pop even more, and using Laura Geller Gilded Honey as well as the Balm Mary Luminizer, I'm just applying that on top of the luminizing drops. And to do so, I'm using one of my favorite highlight brushes, which is the Morphe M510 brush. I'm just setting the makeup with this setting spray, and that's it. That concludes this look. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment down below, and I will see you on the next one. It looks like we're like one person. We're like one human. Hi guys, and hi guys.
Give me a pillow.
Hold it. Give me a booster seat.
Yeah,
Okay, one more time. You haven't said anything.
girl,
I feel weird. No, you shouldn't feel weird.
Your girlfriend looks like this. Are you kidding me?
Okay, girl, it's setting time. Okay.
I don't even have any more wine.
Slay bitch.